All right, guys, so we're going to start getting into math content that is a little bit more intense. Chapter 8 is all about polynomials. Okay, this might be the first time you're hearing this word, but what is a polynomial? A polynomial is an expression with many terms. The key phrase here is many terms separated by addition or subtraction. Okay, why does that word many terms matter? Okay, poly means many, and then nomial means number of terms. So what is a polynomial? It's a bunch of terms put together, separated by addition or subtraction. Okay, here's an example of a polynomial. Negative 2x cubed plus 5x squared minus 4x plus 7. Okay, this is an example of a four-term polynomial. Okay, this is the first term, the second term, third term, and the fourth term. You notice that they're all separated by addition or subtraction. It's a bunch of different terms squeezed together into one expression. Okay, but one thing I need you to be able to know is I need you to figure out what the degree of a polynomial is. There's a bunch of different ways to break it down, but degree of a polynomial is just the highest exponent of all the terms. Okay, degree of a polynomial is the highest exponent you see. Okay, so if we look at this expression, we have negative 2x cubed plus 5x squared minus 4x plus 7. Okay, if I were to ask you what is the degree of this polynomial, all you have to do is search for the term that has the highest exponent. Okay, so this term has an exponent of 3, this term has an exponent of 2, this term has an exponent of 1, an imaginary 1, and then this guy is just a number, so it's 0. Okay, so you ask yourself, okay, which of those numbers is the highest? So because that first term has an exponent of 3, the degree of this entire polynomial is 3. Okay, all we're doing is we're looking for the highest exponent of all the terms. Okay, when it comes to writing polynomials, we're going to be a little bit picky about the way in which you write it. So if you're writing something in the standard form of polynomial, the rules are, first of all, your variables have to be in alphabetical order by highest exponent to least exponent, and then the constant or the number has to be put last. Okay, so what this is saying for question 2, it's saying put negative 2x squared plus 5x cubed plus 4 minus x in standard form. Okay, it says any sign in front of the term stays with it. So the first rule here is we have to put our variables in alphabetical order. Okay, that's decently easy because we're only dealing with x's and numbers, so we don't really have to do anything with that. The next rule we have is we have to sort these terms by highest exponent to least exponent. So I search through these four terms and I search for the highest exponent that I can find. Okay, this term right here, positive 5x cubed, is the highest exponent I see. It's got an exponent of 3. So that's got to be the first term that's written, 5x cubed, positive 5x cubed. Then I search for the next highest exponent that I see. It looks like it's minus 2x squared, exponent of 2. So that goes second, minus 2x squared. Then I search for the third highest. Okay, I've got a 4, which is just a number, and then a minus x. Okay, this x is an exponent of 1, so that's got to go next, minus x. And then what should always go last is the number or the constant. In this case, it's positive 4. I'm adding 4 at the very end. Okay, this is the exact same expression as this guy up here. It's just written in standard form, written in that correct order of descending order in terms of exponents. Okay, a couple more key vocab words for you. Coefficient is the number multiplying a specific variable. Okay, so all a coefficient is the number in front of a variable. So it says state the coefficients of each variable, and I got this ugly expression once again, negative 2x squared plus y plus 5x cubed plus 4 minus x plus y cubed. Okay, so it's asking what is the coefficient of x squared? So the x squared term is right here, and if I'm looking for the coefficient, I'm looking for the number in front of that term. It looks like it's negative 2, I would just write negative 2. For y, it looks like the y doesn't have anything in front of it, so we just got to know, okay, what is the number in front of that y? Okay, if there's no written number, it is not 0. The number in front of that y is a 1. Okay, and then the last one is for the minus x term. I don't really love the way that's written, but if you ever see a minus symbol, it's just a -1. Okay, the coefficient in front of the x term is -1. All right, so the next thing we see here is the leading coefficient, and we define the leading coefficient as the coefficient of the highest exponent. Okay, I don't love the way that's written in terms of highest exponent. When I think of leading coefficient, I just want the first number in standard form. The first number in standard form. Okay, so if it asks for the leading coefficient of this ugly expression, -2x² plus y plus 5x³ plus 4 minus x plus y to the 7th power, the first step would be is I want to put this in standard form. And when I put this in standard form, remember my first rule is I got to make sure my terms are written in alphabetical order. Okay, so I see some x's and I see some y's, and I know in the alphabet x comes before y. So I have to list all my x terms first. So it should go 5x³, then a -2x², then I see that minus x, then I can start listing my y terms. I've got a plus y to the 7th, a plus y, and then I got that plus 4 to finish. Okay, if I ask for the leading coefficient, all I'm really looking for is I'm looking for the first number that I see, and the first term I have is 5x³. The leading coefficient should be the number 5. Okay, so we talked about polynomials. Polynomials are a bunch of terms that are separated by addition or subtraction. What a monomial is an expression of only one term. Okay, mono means one. No addition or subtraction symbols whatsoever. So an example of a monomial would be something like 8x⁴ times z. Okay, three different things. There's a number, a variable, and another variable. Because they're all squished together in multiplication, it still registers as one term. Okay, but here's what we have to consider. We've talked about the degree of a polynomial. The degree of a polynomial is the highest exponent of all the terms. But if we're looking for the degree of a monomial, it's the sum of all of the exponents of its variables. Okay, so what does that mean? For example A, I have 8x⁴ times z, and it's asking for the degree of this monomial. So what we have to do is if we have multiple variables, we have to add all of the exponents together. Okay, the first thing I see here is an 8. That's just a number, so I don't really have to do anything with it. But this x is being raised to the 4th power, and then next to that x, I see a z with nothing above it. But this z, if there is a z there, it's being raised to the 1st power. Okay, so if I have to figure out the degree of this monomial, I have to add these two exponents together. In this case, it's just 4 plus 1. The degree of this monomial is equal to 5. Okay, in comparison, if we look at example B, I've got -5y. That is a monomial. It's one term. The first thing I see here is a -5. That's a number, so it doesn't contribute to my degree at all. And then I have a y that doesn't have anything above it. And if it doesn't have anything above it, it's being raised to the 1st power. Okay, y is the only variable I see, and it's y being raised to the 1st power. The degree of this entire term is just 1.